So the first part of making ice cream is obviously the ice cream base. There's a couple little things that we have to do to kind of get ready for it. We call it like the mise en place of it, and that's getting all your ingredients. So to making your base, which is the white base, we're going to need milk, cream, egg yolks. We have some cane sugar and milk powder and just a little bit of salt. So those are kind of the key components of making ice cream. When you are going through the cookbook, you're going to see a little bit of a variety of different measurements of it today. Again, today we'll just be doing kind of the white base. So first thing to do is to weigh out your wet ingredients. I am using a scale, and I do recommend using a scale for this cookbook because it is just going to be a little bit more accurate than using cups or with like tablespoon measurements there. We're going to put 360 grams of our milk in here, and then we're just going to add a little bit of our cream as well. So we're doing 360 grams of our cream. We're just putting this on the burner. We're just going to put this on low just to slowly heat that up. Now there's another way that you can do this, and that's by using a double boiler. We're just going to let that heat up. We want it to get around 40 to around 45 Celsius, so just a little bit still starts to steam here. We're just going to measure out our cane sugar here, so around 150 grams. We're going to add a little bit of milk powder, so 38 grams that we'll be doing this. And after that, we're just going to add just a pinch of salt, and then just give this a good mix. When you are doing this, the milk powder will clump up if you just add it without having the cane sugar there. So it's really important just to make sure that this is well mixed so it doesn't have any clump ups here. So we're just going to check on this really quickly, and we're just going to just slowly whisk this in here and just slowly incorporate that. We're going to keep that still going at just a low temperature here. Next, we're going to separate out some of our yolks. What you can do is just kind of crack them aside, and then just kind of get that, getting the whites out of it. Yolks are a natural emulsifier in egg, so it is really crucial just for the stabilization of your ice cream base. And then obviously you're going to have a lot of egg whites after this. There's a couple desserts, obviously the macaron you can make out of this. You can make a pavlova out of it. Cocktails are great, and you can kind of make like an amaretto sour out of the other ones there. Or if you don't want to use it right away, you can also freeze it, so it actually freezes very well, the egg whites. But we'll just put those to the side for now. So we're just going to make sure we just whisk this one more time. It's looking really good. It's not catching, not scalding on there. And then we're just going to slowly incorporate our eggs here. Just whisking them really nice just to break it up. And as the eggs start to cook, it will kind of form a little bit of a custard or a creme anglaise. So it will get a little bit thicker as we go. As it gets a little bit hotter, the risk of scalding gets a little bit more. So you just want to make sure you're getting that nicely mixed. And then, yeah, we'll turn it up just a little bit more just to kind of get it through that temp there. So our goal right now is to get this up to around 78 to around 80 Celsius. You do want to just make sure you're getting within that range, but we definitely want it to thicken up just like a custard. And don't worry too much. You might get a little bit of bubbles coming up. Don't worry too much about those bubbles. You don't have to skim it off or anything. When it cools, those bubbles will go down, and it'll just be kind of just a part of the ice cream. If you don't have a thermometer, you can kind of go when it just starts to look a little bit kind of steamy. There should be a good indication. But also with the eggs, you'll definitely see that it will be getting thicker, which is a good sign that the eggs are actually getting cooked all the way there. So we can start to tell that we're almost done here. You can start to smell that the eggs are cooking. It's starting to steam up a little bit. So we are just gonna take this off the heat. And again, you can start to see that it's getting a little bit thicker now, and those bubbles are going kind of down a little bit more. And then the next crucial thing is that we're going to take this off the heat, and we're just going to strain it onto a chilled bowl. How we do that is we just get a little bit of a bowl of ice, you put your bowl on top of that one, and then you literally just strain it on top over the bowl. So we're just gonna strain this out here. So we're just gonna strain that off. And if you do scald it at all and little burnt bits or anything, you're kind of getting it off. But as you see right here, it's coming out pretty clean. Gonna do a little whisk. So at this point, if your fridge is big enough, I would recommend just putting your whole bowl in there, and you could be stirring it maybe once or twice, and then put this into another container. Alternatively, you can just leave like this for maybe an hour, and just making sure that it is kind of getting fully cold, and then transferring this to a container that you can put it into the fridge. Once this is cool, just transfer it over into your container. And then you're gonna put this in the fridge for at least a full day. And it's kind of crucial to the whole ice cream making process, is that your base has to be very cold for it to be churned, but also you want the emulsifier of the eggs to start to work. That takes a little bit of time. So we're gonna kind of seal this up, and then we'll start churning this the next day. So now that the base has been fully cooled and we've waited a full day for that to cool, we're just gonna go grab it, and we're gonna start the churning process. We've had this kind of chilling for a little bit already, so we're just gonna pour this base in here. And you do want to turn on the blade almost pretty quickly, because what's gonna happen is that if it's pre-chilled and it sits for a little bit too long, the blade will start to freeze to the actual wall there. So we're gonna turn this on here, around 20 minutes, and then from there, we're just gonna turn it on. So we're looking at around 20 to 30 minutes, which is a little bit of a window to try to figure out when it's done. Okay, so around 15 minutes into it, and as you can see, it is starting to get that soft serve consistency. We are gonna wait just a little bit longer for this to chill down, probably another 5 or 7 minutes, just to make sure it just gets a little bit harder. At this time, when it's churning, it's also incorporating in some air, which is called overrun, which is really important for ice cream. So we do want to make sure that we are getting enough air that's going into the ice cream, and this will help with the texture, especially the smoothness and the creaminess of when that air kind of goes in there. So we'll leave it for another 5 minutes, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, so we're just around 20 minutes here, and when you take a peek at this, you can start to see how much more volume that we got out of this. And I would say at this point, it's looking pretty done. We'll just turn this off really quickly. And we are just gonna probe it just to kind of see, obviously in a commercial setting, we're kind of going for like a -10. We're almost at around, we're around -6, -7 right now, but it's looking pretty good just to be taken out at this point. How we're gonna do this is we're just literally gonna scoop it out into a bowl. If you are mixing hard inclusions into it, I definitely recommend putting it in a bowl first and then mixing your inclusions in that. Some people will add the inclusions straight to the bowl. If you do that too many times, eventually the gears on the motor will kind of break down, and you kind of have to get a new, like a new machine. So I just recommend just to scoop it out and kind of fold in your inclusions after that. So try to get as much as you can from your ice cream here. And now if you are doing inclusion, you're just gonna throw it just straight in here. I have some gooey butter cake. It's kind of one of my favorite inclusions. And we're just gonna mix this all the way in here. And you just kind of want to fold it around. You don't want to whip it at all. You just want to fold it there. And you do want to be a little bit conscious of how much time you're taking kind of to do this. It will melt faster now that it's outside of the bowl. If you're doing a ripple, I just have one of these pint containers. Again, you could probably just buy these online, or you can do any type of freezer safe container. What you can do, put a little bit of ice cream down like this. I like the tap down method, and you can put your jam in there. You do want to go pretty heavy on the jam. Always nice to have that like nice ripple going through your ice cream. Just gonna do this one more time here. And then I'm just gonna top this off. I'm just gonna just do like this. And then one thing that I kind of like to do sometimes is when you have a ripple, just kind of going up and down just a little bit, just to move that ripple in and out. And then I'm just gonna redo the top here. There we go. And then right here, there we go. It's gonna wipe down it here so it's nice. It doesn't have any things when you go and grab it again, you're gonna get ice cream on your hands. And then from there, next step is just to put it in your freezer. What you want to do is probably find the coldest part of your freezer to put this in. And then we're just gonna freeze this for at least another 4 hours so it can get cold. So at around 4 hours, it should actually be a nice like scoopable temperature, but ideally overnight for it to fully freeze, and then the next day you can have it. When you do go to serve this, it's very typical with ice cream, you do want to probably pull it out from your freezer 5 or 10 minutes before you want to serve it, because it will be pretty hard when it's coming out of a freezer, especially your deep freeze, it will be pretty cold. And then, yeah, that's it.